So, the 2026 Warrior Cats Super Edition is about Darktail. It's no secret that I was not a fan of One Star's Confession. In fact, I just put it at the bottom of a Super Edition ranking list. And the problem I had with the book is that it didn't really develop Whitetail or Smoke as characters all that well, in favor of mainly focusing on One Star and Darktail, who already had a major spotlight in the Vision of Shadows story arc, as well as Hawkwing's journey for Darktail, and multiple Warrior Cats story arcs for One Star. In Shattered Sky, One Star already summarized all the biggest reveals that his backstory had, and the Super Edition didn't add any substantial new ones. It just felt like there wasn't anything left to tell with Darktail. So they're doing it again. I mean, it's the 5th villain POV in the first ever villain Super Edition, but did they have to choose Darktail? I mean, a story about what Soul did when he wasn't in the clans, a Scourge book that goes more in depth about his time in Blood Clan, an Ashfur book detailing the origins of the imposter plot, a Mapleshade POV about her role in the rise of the Dark Forest, just Snowtuft and his mysterious past? What about adding a new villain to the Storm Clan time period? There's just so many untold stories with Warrior Cats villains, and they chose the one villain we already know everything about. He's shown as a Kit in One Star's Confession, him taking over Sky Clan in Hawkwing's journey, and him taking over Shadow Clan and River Clan in the Vision of Shadows, and his brief appearance in the Dark Forest is covered in the Broken Code. So in terms of new content, all we have is the gap before he meets Sky Clan, where he learns to be evil in Two Leg Place, and then later forms the Kin. But for the Two Leg Place part of his story, we already know 3 of the biggest reveals: that Darktail attacks his Two Leg, that he kills a cat named Dudley, and that Smoke is killed by a car. So what is there left to tell? There are so many other villains with larger gaps in their history. Like the time period between him being a Kit and him starting the Kin is perfect for a novella, not a massive Super Edition. Like StormClan's Folly explored an entire new branch of the Warrior Cats timeline, and it still got a little slow and repetitive in the middle of the book, as they strained to think of things to write about. How are they supposed to fill chapters with Darktail, aside from redoing existing events? And aside from filling the book, there are other concerns as well. Every single Super Edition will recontextualize the character it's about in some way. That's normal and not a bad thing at all, but I'm worried about what they'll add to Darktail. Here are some of my fears. A forced romance plot. Every Super Edition except for Grey Stripes Vow had a romantic pairing be a major plot point. Even Leopard Star, who was never romantic, was given a crush. Darktail doesn't really need this. Especially not Sleek Whisker. She's way too young for him. If they must, they should just completely invent a new cat. They blame Smoke for everything. Like, Smoke is probably not the best mom, but please don't write the book in a way that deflects blame for all the blatantly evil things that Darktail does later in his life on her. They make Darktail overly sympathetic or regretful. Of course, there's nothing wrong with him having a sad backstory, but if they make him killing Dudley as a mistake that he immediately regrets, or they say his murderous ways are just him grieving Smoke, or make him internally whine about how he is only evil because he is so sad and pathetic, that would take away his edge, so I'd rather not have that. They put Mapleshade's voice in his head to explain why he's evil. It's just been done already. There are more creative ways to make him evil, and it would be a disservice for Mapleshade to make her come back but only as a side character. As far as what I do want from this book, I think some Two Leg Place content could be good. Maybe whatever is left of Blood Clan shows up. Backstory for the Kin, obviously. Definitely give more development to the cats there. Give us more reason to care about Rain, so that their falling out has more emotional impact. I wouldn't mind some Sleek Whisker or Needletail content. I like those too. Give Smoke the attention she deserves. Don't just make her entire personality being crazy because One Star rejected her. Give her a past, establish her relationship with her friends, give her dialogue that proves there's a brain there somewhere. Like the bare minimum, please. All around, just prove this book has something to say that wasn't already part of Darktail's story. Alright, bye everyone.